Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. So, can we all agree that Eren Yeager may have had the worst first day on a job? I mean, here's the deal. It's your first day on the job. A colossal titan shows up that the last time you saw him killed your mother Carla, not Grisha, killed your mother Carla 5 years ago and completely destroyed your home. And then this is the first time you've seen him in 5 years and you couldn't beat them. They disappeared. And then on top of that, your friend Thomas died instantly. Potentially 2 others have died, Mina and that other guy, potentially. Your friend Armin, your bestie, nearly got killed. You had to jump into the mouth of a titan to rescue your bestie. You lost your leg, and then a titan's mouth closed on your arm, cutting it off and potentially swallowing you. And that was your first day on the job. Holy crap, what an episode. Oh, that was a ride. And so I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what this show's going to do. Eren's our main character, and this show is 4 seasons long, and I'm sure he's in their other episodes, so I'm like, how does he get out of this? What's going to happen? I don't know. I have 2 scenarios. I think it's going to be either one of 2 scenarios. I mean, he's not going to die. That's not going to happen, unless we're getting into some freaky supernatural stuff. He's not going to die, I don't think. Something's going to happen to save him. I think it's either one of 2 things. Either one, Mikasa is going to rush back there and get him and Armin. Because the preview made it seem like this episode was going to be filled with flashbacks to Mikasa's past. And so it could be like as she's running to save Armin and Eren, we get a flashback of her past and see like what led her to this point of her and Eren having this relationship. So we could do that, and she could show up, grab Armin, cut open the Titan, I guess, and free Eren. I don't know. I just don't know. But then my other scenario is, if that doesn't happen, then I think Levi's group's going to come in and get Armin and save Eren. Or maybe they don't save Eren. Maybe Eren's stuck in the belly of this Titan and like cuts himself out. I don't know. Because he still had his sword on him. He could cut his way out of the Titan, I suppose. But it would be a cool way, because we've established that Levi has the power of a whole brigade, even though he doesn't want to admit it. And so it'd be a cool showing of Levi and the Vanguard coming in to rescue Armin and get him out of there. And then maybe Eren just chops himself out of the Titan. Or there could be a third case scenario where Levi and Mikasa both meet up at the same time to get Armin and to try to get Eren out or do something. Because I've noticed that Mikasa's last name is Ackerman, and I'm pretty sure Levi's last name is Ackerman. So I'm recording ahead, guys, so you guys have probably already tried to spoil me in the comments. Please don't spoil me. But they have to be related, or even if it's like cousins or distant relatives. So it'd be cool if they met up again this episode, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to go down. I don't even know if Mina's still alive. That one dude that got splatted by the Titan hand, he probably did. The other guy was being held like he was going to get eaten. He's probably dead. Thomas is just dead, which surprised me the most, because I thought Thomas and Marco, which we don't know Marco's fate yet, I thought Thomas and Marco would at least get flashbacks of like their home in Trost. No. This show's like, you think we're going to give all these characters flashbacks before they die? I'm like, okay, cool. So, yeah, that brings me to, before we start this episode, my second point, which is, am I simping for a man that I just met for 2 minutes last episode? You better damn believe it. I may be in love with Pixis. I had to pour myself a glass of wine tonight because I'm like, I don't know this man. I've known him for 2 minutes, and he's amazing. He's amazing. I love him so far. And I know what some of you in the YouTube comments will be saying. You'll be like, Romania, don't attach yourself to any characters. They can all die. I know that at this point. I just watched our main character lose an arm and a leg. He could be dead. I am fully aware. But I'm going to celebrate Pixis because he's so badass. I was going to include him in one of my scenarios, but then I remembered that he's with the garrisons. He has the rose on his badge. So he's not part of the Survey Corps. He's the commander of the garrisons in the southern unit, which I'm assuming is with Trost. So I'm assuming he'll be there, but at first I was like, oh, well, him and Levi must work together, but they're not even in the same unit, so they don't. But he could interact with Levi, so I don't know. I'm willing myself good vibes that Pixis shows up and does some badass things, because I love his character already. He's like one of my favorites. But we're going to cheers Thomas. Was drinking wine before an Attack on Titan reaction a good idea? In 23 minutes, I'll have your answer. But we are going to watch episode 6 of Attack on Titan, The World the Girl Saw, which I'm assuming the girl is Mikasa. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect, guys. This whole episode has a big old question mark, and that's how I feel like I'm going to be going through every episode this season, is just a giant question mark, and what happens will happen. I haven't felt this excited and terrified and nervous since watching Banana Fish, which is a good thing because Banana Fish is like my favorite show. So this is getting there. So we shall see. But in any case, we are going to start episode 6 of Attack on Titan here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this, y'all. A toast to our queen, Mikasa, because damn, girl, that episode, I've liked Mikasa from the start. I have. And this episode totally sold me on her character. I'm like, nope, I get it. Because there's been, my only looming thought going into this was that she really is fixated on staying with Eren and keeping Eren safe and prioritizing him. But after this episode, no, it makes sense. It all makes sense. It is like a bond between her and Eren, like a soulmate bond. And damn, this episode did not go the way I thought it was. I thought it was going to be, like, I knew we were going to get flashbacks from Mikasa, but I thought we were going to cut to Armin and Eren, that we're going to have the status of Mina and the others confirmed, which we haven't. I mean, we can only assume that Mina's dead, but Eren went MIA. No! Oh my gosh, no. I'm like, where, what? My question is, the Titans, they swallow people whole, right? Well, I mean, they do chew sometimes, but they do swallow whole. So I'm like, so that big giant grandpa Titan swallowed Eren whole. So there's a good chance Eren can still, like, cut his way out, right? Right, they regenerate, so he can just cut himself out and run away, right? I don't know, damn it. Oh my god, but this episode, getting backstory with Eren, poor Armin. First of all, poor Armin, and then Connie being like, why you get the slime on you? And I forget the one freckled girl's name. I forget her name. I mean, Krista's the blonde, but I forget the freckled girl's name. But poor Armin, like, he is having a full-on panic attack, and well-deserved. My question, though, is, why did the Titan just leave? It just left him. So, like, does the Titans eat one person at a time and then they're done? Like, why did the Titan leave him? I don't know. That part's unclear, because he was literally right there by the Titan. And you can see from where the tiles moved that there wasn't much of a difference. So it's like, why did he just walk away? I don't know. But poor Armin. And that woman's like, only this loser survived. I'm like, dude. And I'm like, thank you, Connie. Like, telling her, shut up. Like, that's not the time. And Krista, I like Krista saying, no one's thinking straight. She's like, look, all of our friends are dying. No one's thinking straight. It is doing exactly like Mikasa said, and is going to chaos. And then this girl's like, that's my Krista. Marry me when the operation ends. And she's so hard to read. And then Connie's like, her antics are more off the chart than usual. So, like, this is not something unusual for her. And then I love, in hindsight, the symbolism of Connie offering his hand and being like, hey, do you need help? And Armin stands on his own, because that's the whole flashback. He's like, I've not been strong enough to take care of myself. I had to have Mikasa and Eren save me all these years from harm. And he's like, and I'm ashamed. He's like, no, I'm going to go. So he's going to go meet up with Mikasa. And from the preview, it looks like he's going to tell her. And in the preview, she looked like she was in denial, which don't blame her. But yeah, we don't see anybody. And I like that he's like, this is hell. No, it's always been hell. Like, we just didn't realize it was. It's always been this way. And that ties to Mikasa's whole thing of, we've been kind of ignoring it, but it is a predator-prey world, and we're not above it like any other animal. It's just the strong devour the weak. And you see those guys beating him up and trying to beat up his book that his grandpa gave him on the ground, disheveled, and then Mikasa and Eren coming in to save him. So yeah, this is how the world's been, and he's just realizing it, just like Mikasa has realized it. So I feel like if anything, Armin and Mikasa, they're going to have character growth together. It's reminding me a little bit of like Jujutsu Kaisen when Yuji gets separated from Fushiguro and Nobara, where Nobara and Fushiguro kind of have a bonding. I feel like Armin and Mikasa are going to have that. But we at least saw Yuji's body in Jujutsu Kaisen and knew stuff was going on. With Eren, it's like a giant question mark. Like, where is he? Is he in the belly of the Titan? Is he carved his way out? What's happening? like with Eren, it's totally nothing is set in stone, right? But this idea that Eren and Mikasa have always been there for Armin, and Armin wants to, find a way to defend himself. I wanted to be strong like them, he says, to live in this world as their equal. I feel like that's going to be like his impetus for his character growth, just like Mikasa. But, damn. And then this thing with Franz and Hannah, holy cow. Like, I knew from the start, I was like, as soon as the Lovebirds thing was the joke, that Hannah and Franz, I'm like, you guys are going to die. And oh my God, the reveal that she's sitting there doing CPR on him, trying to save him. And he's like, Hannah, what are you doing? And we can't see his half because Armin's in the way. And she's like, I keep performing CE. And like, she is like at the point where it's like, she's lost it. And it's dangerous down here. Get up on the roof. And she's like, I can't leave him here. And he's like, but Hannah. And Armin's just like, yeah, you see, like, yeah, you don't see the rest of him. It's just her gear there. Damn. Man, that is rough. And Armin's like, stop, this is too much. And, like, he's not gonna make it. And I guess I'm hoping he got her out of there because she's, like, mentally unstable, like she needs to leave. But then we go to this bastard, this asshole, that's sitting there not letting everybody in because he's trying to get his wagon of stuff. And it's like, dude, if you just let them, like, you're not getting that wagon through. It's too big. It's like, come on now. Just let the people in first. Yeah, the Titans are going to eat all of us. And the guy that, from the garrisons, at first I thought it was the guy that threw up earlier, but that was a different guy. This guy looks equally as like he's about to throw up. But yeah, we're all doing real good and everything. And then we get, and so this guy tries to like throw it in his face. He's like, we have to make money to feed you all, so you need to help me first, and blah, blah, blah. And we cut to this mom and the little girl, and clearly the little girl's, her dad is part of either the garrisons or the Survey Corps, one of the two. And dads will get the Titans with his cannon. So he's part of that. And then that girl's like, look, and I'm sorry, but this freaky ass Titan that's just running around, like running amok, and it no. And it runs over the one garrison guy that like looked shell-shocked. And oh my God. Like what? And he was running, I'm assuming, to get away from the people. And they say he's an aberrant. So he's another one of the abnormal ones. My question is, where do we get to, like, we haven't gotten to this point in the series, but I want to find out, like, what makes an aberrant? Like, is it just an abnormal one that they can't quite figure out? Or is it just doing stuff spontaneously? But then Mikasa, our queen, our slaying queen, comes in to just deal the blow. And here's the thing. A large part of it is the idea that you have to want to kill these things. You have to have that drive and you want to kill. And we find out about Mikasa by the end of this that it's that instinct of fight or flight. And her mom told her to fly and Eren told her to fight. And she decided to be the strong one that was going to win. And then this guy keeps saying his thing, and I love her reaction. she's like, right now my friends are dying. And she looks so distraught. She's like, because people haven't evacuated. She's like, they can't get their job done. They're dying. They're fighting the Titans. And he's like, of course. The guy's like, it's your job to sacrifice yourselves. And she's like, no. She's like, yeah, we're sacrificing ourselves, but you're not doing your part. Like, they're not the parasites here. You are. And that look on her face that just like, oh, you're going to call me a parasite? Okay. And then what a queen. What an absolute badass. Just coming there and being like, if you expect someone to die for the sake of another as a matter of course, I'm sure you'll understand this. Like, that sometimes a single noble sacrifice can save many lives. Like, oh, well, sacrifice, I'll get rid of you, and that'll save all these other people. And just, what a woman. And he tries to, like, say he knows her boss, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, a corpse can't talk. It's like, oh, you ain't gonna talk to her boss if you did. And that look from her, that dead-eyed, dead shark look. I'm gonna go back to it just for a second. Yeah, that dead-eyed shark look, that looks like Levi Ackerman. That looks like Levi, for sure. So, after what we found out about her this episode, I'm thinking that they have to be related through the mom or something. They have to be related through the mom. Because, I guess if it's Ackerman, it would be the dad, wouldn't it? I don't know how this society works as far as surnames go. Because, like in Japan, you can take the wife or the husband's name, either one. And usually in Western cultures, you take the father's name, or the husband's name. So, I need to watch this show a little bit more to know how the lore goes, how as far as that goes. But she had that cold look just like Levi in that one scene. That was really cool. And then, of course, the little girl is like looks up to her and she does the noble, like the thing, like, it's no problem. And that girl was clearly inspired in that moment. Like, you could see in her face that girl was inspired by Mikasa and, like, will probably go on to be in the garrisons or the Survey Corps one day. Hopefully she don't die. But, yeah. So, here's the thing with the Titans. It's weird. It's, like, evaporating and slowly vanishing, right? It is, like, slowly depleting to a skeleton and just steaming away. So, that makes me wonder if one of the reasons why they can't research these Titans to a great extent is they can't really take one captive, right? Because as soon as they cut it and it stops regenerating, it just starts to dissolve and disapparate. So that would make it hard to get a sample if you can't use a corpse of a Titan, clearly, because it just shrinks up and decays quickly. And it made sense because they said in the last episode that their body temperatures are extremely high. So if they start to decay rapidly, it's going to speed up the process of decomposition. So that's interesting. So here's the thing with the Colossal Titan. As soon as he hit that weak point, it just went poof. So did it do a super quick decay and just instantly evaporate? And is it just been the same kind of Colossal Titan over and over again, like clones of it? Or does it just shrink and then increase in size again? I don't know. That's interesting. So Mikasa, she breaks one of her blades in that one strike, and it shows her blades just breaking. But she clearly has other ones. And this guy's like, what did you go through before all this? And he's like, oh, never mind. And he's like, you're just kind of like a boss. And then I love that she puts Aaron's scarf up over her face. And she's like, why did I think back? Why did I remember that? And it's like, because of that girl. She reminded you of yourself. So, okay, we had the halfway point where it says, the ultra-hard steel, a material both supple and strong, capable of rending Titan flesh, used to forge the single-edged weapon swords, widely known as the anti-Titan weapons. So it's, okay. So we got the ultra-hard steel, 1. And then we have ultra-hard steel 2, which is ultra-hard steel can only be manufactured in the blade furnaces of factory cities. So I'm wondering if the factory cities are in Rose or if they are in Sheena. I don't think they were in Maria. So I'm guessing the more densely populated you get, the more you have. So only a year has, so she's only known Aaron for 6 years. Like she had only known Aaron a year before. And this whole flashback explains so much about her character. It explains so much. Like, it explains why when Aaron's mom died, she wasn't freaked out. She was able to be calm under pressure because she lost her own mom. She knows what that's like. And then they talk about the embroidery. She says it's wonderful. And I'm wondering, I don't think it's, does it show us the embroidery? It looks like little birds. It looks like little birds, and there's people there. She says, good job. She says, this embroidery pattern has been passed down in our family for generations. So, I wonder if we'll ever get to see what was on that embroidery pattern. And then she's like, how do you get children? And she was like, ask your dad. And he's like, oh God, no, don't ask me. Like, they're such a wholesome damn family. It's so sad. And we'll ask Dr. Yeager. And she's like, we're going to put this old man through the ringer. See, I thought when we got that flashback to Aaron in the cabin, I thought that it originally was like Titans had attacked her family and somehow she'd escaped. Like, that's what I thought would happen. But you know what the sad thing is? The sad thing is that this is even worse. This is even worse than the Titans. Because at least you can argue the Titans are just mindless, going off of animalistic instinct. And that's all they know. Like, they're not capable of human, like, sentience. But these guys, it was planned. And so I like that Dr. Yeager, clearly this little Aaron kid's been a little shit since he was a kid. Because Dr. Yeager's like, now be nice, she's your age. And Aaron's like, well, it depends on how she acts towards me. And Dr. Yeager's like, God, we just got you out of your terrible toddlers, now you're not even a teen yet. He's like, this is why you only have one friend. And that kid's just your friend because you protect him. It's like, oh my God. But yeah, and then here's the thing. They find the mom and the dad, and Aaron's eyes. Aaron has had this, like, sense of justice and vengeance imbued in his system from, like, the start. Because those eyes are, like, just awful. Like, they're just so piercing. And then, yeah, they took the girl away to, like, traffic her. And they were going to originally traffic the mom, too. And here's where it gets interesting. So I didn't know if this was a fantasy world that was completely made up or if it's based off of Earth and it's just like in the future. Apparently it's based off of Earth because they say that she's Asian. So apparently none of these other characters are Asian except her. And the one guy's like, well, she's only half Asian. And he said humans used to have other races too. She's the last descendant of a clan that fled from a place called Asia to take refuge within the walls. So this guy says she's the last of a clan, but if her and Levi are related, then that's clearly not the case. So that's curious. But here's the thing. So the 844, the year 844, are we assuming that this is just, it's kind of like, 2021 AD, year 845 is like after certain things, something big happened, and that's why all this stuff went down, and they've just had the walls for the last 100 years of that. So interesting. The fact that this is Earth, only it's in the future, and it's like the super dystopian future, and everything's kind of like back to basics sort of thing, medievalish, is super interesting. Super, super interesting. Yeah. And then these guys start bickering. And then they just killed the dad. And the mom tried to defend. And it didn't work. And her mom told her to run. She's like, run, Mikasa. And then, God, this show is just so damn brutal. And here's the thing. Aaron, as soon as Aaron showed up on that doorstep crying, I was like, nah, dude's got something. He's going to kill this guy. And he had the knife. And the knife makes so much sense now. The idea in the ED where it's all the blades and they're all bloody and she has the clean blade. She has the clean one. Because out of all this death and destruction, she's the one thing that's kind of stayed above it all. But yeah, oh my God. And then she sees Aaron like saving her. And here's the thing about Aaron. I mean, Aaron is our main character as of right now. Oh my God, that look of Aaron's when he's like closing the door and he's like looks like a psychopath. Here's the thing about Aaron. I mean, he's our main character, And he has a bold sense of justice. And he is super, super into protecting people that he cares about, which is awesome. But Eren is a little bit of a psychopath. Just a bit. Just a wee bit. Because, dude, he has got a temper. And he just makes the broom into a spear and gets that guy down. And he doesn't just stab the guy and kill him, but he calls them animals. And he just repetitively stabs them over and over again, saying, this is what you get. This is what you deserve. Don't try to stand up again. And that's what Mikasa sees when she wakes up. And then, like nothing happened, he calms down. He calms down, wipes his eyes, and he's like, it's safe now. And that's what I didn't get in the flashback. I thought that was an arrow sticking up through the light, but it was the broom. It was the broom he made into a spear. It was the broom that he made into a spear and stabbed him with. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Eren's got a temper problem. Just a bit. Like, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have saved Mikasa, because he absolutely should have. And those guys, yeah, you needed to kill them in order to survive. Absolutely. Like, he was very correct in saying the military police was not going to get there in time to save her. But, like, the stabbing and screaming at them once they were dead, he's just got a little bit of anger issues. And then, yeah, she remembers there was 3 of them. And then this guy shows up. Oh, my God. And then, yeah, Eren tries to get the knife. He's going to strangle him. He's like, did you do this? And then he's like, fight. Eren's like, you have to fight them. Or if you don't fight them, we are going to die. We've got to fight in order to live. And then she is like, what the heck? And I love, we finally get confirmation of the mantis. Because I think I questioned in the last episode. I was like, why was the mantis there? Yeah. If we don't fight, we can't win. And that ties back to the whole thing with the Titans. If we don't fight the Titans, we can't win against them. We can't just run away. And then she grabs the knife. And I like that she ends up doing 1 stab to the heart. Like, that's all it took, was just 1 stab. And then I love this point where she figures it out. She connects the dots. And it was that, and that was when I remembered I'd seen this before. And seeing Eren go limp, the mantis catching the moth. Yeah. Many, many times. Like, she's seen it over and over again. In the garden, she's seen the insects devouring each other. When her dad shows up with the pheasant, the dad killed the pheasant. The pheasant was the prey. I pretended that I hadn't. But that's right. Yeah. This world is cruel. And that juxtaposition of her smiling and looking happy and saying this world is cruel, it's like, oh my God. It's just that's it. This whole world is cruel, and these Titans are cruel. And you're either going to fight them and win, or you're going to die. And she's like, and from then on, I was in complete control of myself. And the reds and the greens, I thought I could do anything. And it's like the thing with her brain turning on. And it's kind of like the lightning effect. The lightning effect with the brain is kind of like, it reminds me of the lightning that comes down when the Titan appeared, which is interesting. I don't know if that's just the effect of the show, what you can make out of that, but the brain turning on, and she just like grips it, like her muscles and everything like comes out, and she like gets like a moment of super strength, which, you know, like that adrenaline and stuff, people have that like moment where they're super strong and come through. It's like, oh my gosh. And then, yeah, the guys from, it looks like they're from the King's Guard. Oh, interesting. So from the King's Guard, right? Is that what was on their jerseys? On their uniforms? So here's the thing, I want to check that again, because we don't know exactly where Mikasa's from, like what area of the kingdom she's from. It looks like they have, I don't know, it looks like they have a horse on them. So I don't know. Be interesting. And then, I'm sorry, but the whole scarf thing, like, it didn't even dawn on me that Eren was wearing that stupid scarf. Like, I was just not putting 2 and 2 together. And of course, again, Dr. Yeager is pointing out Aaron's flaw. He's like, look, I get that you did the right thing. He's like, but even if that's true, you were lucky, Aaron. You were lucky things went your way. He's like, I'm mad because you risked your life without thinking. And oh my God, it's like, you didn't learn anything, Aaron. 6 years later, and you jumped in to avenge Thomas, but you didn't think before you jumped in. And that's why you're in the predicament that you're in. And Aaron's just like, I wanted to save her as soon as I could, which again ties back to him trying to rescue and avenge Thomas. And the doctor's like, I'm not going to argue with this kid anymore. And then asks if she remembers. And then Aaron gives her the scarf and wraps it around. And it's like, that's why she keeps the scarf with her, because it's a reminder of like the guy that helped save her. And I love how he wraps it so horribly and just tosses it over her head. It's warm, isn't it? And he looks kind of like embarrassed. And she's like, mm-hmm. And she says it's warm. And then Dr. Yeager asks her to come live with them. You've been through a lot. Yeah, just a bit. And you need rest. And then she looks over to him. And he's like, come on, let's go back. And I love that he grabs her hand. And he's blushing. Let's go back to our home. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's like, man, when you start to ship Aaron and Mikasa, and then you realize that Aaron's probably dead. But not really. He's not dead. No way. And then we cut back to her, and she's just like hacking these Titans like left and right. And it's like, oh my God, she's just like cleaning house. Just attacking. They're all disintegrating. It's like, Mikasa, girl, you are our queen, our Titan killing queen. So my question is, I wonder if she is going to encounter the Titan that's ate Aaron and hack it. Will Aaron get out of that? What will happen? And then of course has that line, Aaron, as long as I have you, I can do anything. And it's like, damn, girl, but you can do everything without Aaron. It's like, man. So I wanted to go back and see that preview real quick. And just go back and see that one more time. And go through and see what that is. Damn. Now I'm going to be really sad. I mean, I know Aaron's not dead, but she's going to be devastated next episode when she finds out that he's dead. Like, she's going to be literally devastated. Especially now that we know what all she's been through. It's like, really? Really, show? Okay. So we see her and Sasha. And then a hand is grabbing hold of the sword. And then Jean looks like, I'm glad Jean's still alive, but he looks like he's seen some things. And then it looks like that's Jean. And then Armin. Damn. Oh my God. Ugh. This episode was so good. It did not go the way I thought it would. So this leads me to believe, and I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not looking ahead. As soon as I pull up the episode, that's when I see the title. Right before I start this reaction, I'll pull up the episode, and that's when I see the title of it. I'm wondering if this Tross battle is going to be like a good chunk of this first part of the season. I wonder if it is or not. And by the time this is airing on YouTube and Patreon, you guys are probably going to already have told me that. But that's okay. But oh my gosh, like this is gearing up to be like, we're getting more into Aaron's character from even an early age, because they were like, what, maybe 10 or 11 when that happened. And then we're getting more Mikasa's character. We've gotten stuff with Armin's character. But yeah, so with the rest of my wine, I will say a toast to Thomas and to Mina and to Franz. The 3 that have died in the last episode, in this last episode, and the one before it. And then I'm not drinking to Levi, or not to Aaron. I'm not drinking to Levi because we ain't seen him, but I'm not drinking to Aaron because I don't think he's dead yet. I have a feeling that we're not going to find out next episode what happened to him. They're going to save that to us to like the climax of this whole thing. But I'm so curious. So please no spoilers, but let me know what y'all thought of this episode down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll be back next week with episode 7 of Attack on Titan. Bye.